What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if Jenna Ortega's character, if she's going to be the opening attack in Scream 2022. Now, the reason I say attack is for the simple reason I don't think she's going to be killed off. I really don't. But I want to talk about the possibility. I want to talk about what she said, and we'll go from there, okay? Now, as always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel for more of this Scream content. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And I try to do a new Scream video every single Tuesday on the channel. I know there's a lot of people that come back just for these videos, and again, I really greatly appreciate all your guys' support. You guys are absolutely amazing, okay? Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. I'll leave a link for it in the description below. And final thing I'll say, if you guys want me, because I don't really say this enough, if you guys want me to talk about something specific for Scream, it could be for the new movie. They could also be talking about the old stuff, anything. If you guys want me to do any videos on that, leave it in the comments. Even if I don't reply, I read all the comments, so if there's any suggestions there that I decide to make a video, I'll make it. I'll shout you guys out in that video, just to keep that in mind if you guys want to see something very specific from me going forward. All right, this comes from the Drew Barrymore show. Now, for some reason, this did pop up on my recommended on my phone. I don't know why. I don't watch the Drew Barrymore show, but maybe it's because of Jenna Ortega, maybe it's because of Scream. But over the weekend, I saw this video, and I don't know when this happened. This probably happened later last week, but Jenna Ortega was on the show, and she talked about how she basically, now, she's 18 years old, and you can kind of tell. She idolizes Drew Barrymore, right? She really respects her. She loves her, and she talked a lot about how she studied what she did in the original Scream for her part, not necessarily for her part, but just in working on Scream. She also told the funny story that I believe on Halloween night, on the set of Scream, they all got together and they watched the original Scream on like a huge projector. And she even said like that opening is just so special, and again, she takes like a lot from that. Now, you could run with that and say, well, what does that mean? I mean, in all honesty, it only means one of two things. It means, number one, she's going to be the opening something. Now, again, I say attack because they could break the mold here and not do a kill as the opening. However, it gets a little muddy to say that because that is so different from what Scream is. You know what I mean? Now, I mean, I keep saying now because you can keep going down the rabbit hole, okay? If she were to be copying Scream 1, if she copied it, exactly as it, she would die, okay? So I don't think that's going to happen. Now, does that mean it can't? No. In fact, it would be actually a really bold move, but it doesn't make sense because even in, like, the synopsis, it talks about, like, her, like, she is her and her sister are, like, the main characters of this movie, okay? And it even says that, really, from the main synopsis. So for her to be killed off in the beginning would actually be quite, then the synopsis would kind of be lying. So that would be interesting in a weird way. But maybe she could be the opening attack. Maybe she answers the phone, she goes through the whole 9 yards, and then she survives. Now, that, you could say, well, Alex, that's never been done in the Scream movies. Well, I'm sure some of you guys know this. The original opening of Scream 4 was going to be Ghostface attacking Sydney and Sydney surviving. So Sydney would have been the opening attack, but she would have lived. It wouldn't have been opening kill. Now, how does that work with Stab and all this stuff? Because as we know, right, Stab's become more of an integral part. By the way, it is confirmed that Stab in some way or form will be in this movie. So will the opening be just more of those? I don't think so. Scream 4, the opening kills are cool in all of these movies. Scream 4s, they are cool. Some of them are a lot better than the other ones, but like I don't really want to see that again where there's like 19 different, no, that's an exaggeration, right? But I don't want to see just all of these fake outs because it kind of becomes annoying. Where again, like if you did have Sydney be the opening attack, which I remember, I think the story is the Weinstein brothers didn't want that, right? But if you would have had that as the opening attack, that would have caught literally, and I've said this before, that would catch everybody off guard. Think about this new Scream movie. Now, we've talked about Dewey, and I've said, or really any of the OG characters, if this movie opens up with like Dewey or Gale answering a phone and you hear Ghostface, I will literally start shaking in my seat because that is just that's not a good sign for their characters living. You know what I mean? So, and I have mentioned, I haven't made videos on that in particular. I could definitely make a video on that, in the future if you guys want me to. But I've mentioned that in videos, like, hey, what if the movie opens and Dewey just gets a call and then it's like, holy Jesus, here we go. Like, buckle in because it's not going to get any better from here. So I've said that, but what about Jenna Ortega? We haven't really discuss that as a possibility. What if she gets the opening call? And, I guess another thing you could say is, well, what happened to the rumors of Selena Gomez? Remember, a lot of the rumors are Selena Gomez will be the opening kill to kind of mimic a really big name that you kill off right away. Now, that's kind of died down over the last several months. It doesn't have to not happen. It could very well happen still. You know what I mean? To me, one of two things is going to happen. It'll actually one of three things. A big name, whether it be OG or a new cast, a big name will answer the phone and die. A big name will answer the phone and survive, or it'll be a really big cameo. Okay, so like a Selena Gomez, or maybe it's somebody else that we just don't even know, right? But it's a really big name in like pop culture, right? If they answer the phone and they were taken out, that would be enormous. Okay, so that's again the one thing. The other thing is if a huge name were to answer the phone and be taken out, and the third thing is if a huge name answers the phone but actually survives it. Now, I guess the question you could ask, and I've gone through tangents, but we kind of covered all our bases now, so we can talk about this last part. Why would she want to study how Drew did her stuff? Now, maybe it's just because she's a good actress and she wants to take in all that kind of like, going from being nice and calm to like very, very fearful. I mean, Drew Barrymore did. I'll be honest, I don't really like her all that much. I'm not a big TV show. I'm not a big movie person that includes Drew Barrymore, okay? I think she did a really, really good job in Scream, but I've never kept up with her, really past that point, you know what I mean? Or like right now, like I truly do not care anything that she does. But, she could just be saying, hey, you were a great actress in that movie. Like I just want to try and mimic like being a good actress. But she could have said that for anybody. Like, hey, maybe it is a little telling that she's never said that about like Neve Campbell. She never said like, yeah, Neve did such a phenomenal job in the first movie. Like I'm trying to take a lot of notes and learn from that. She never said that. But again, she was on her show. So like, you're not going to go on her show. You could though. You could go on her show and say, hey, you were incredible. Speaking of the first movie and speaking about your good performance, there was another person, Neve, main lead, a really big final girl, right? And I've taken a lot from that. She didn't say that. So what I think is either one of two things with Jenna Ortega. I guess, dang it, I guess one of three things. Number one, she said it because she is the opening kill. Okay, that's the first thing. Doesn't have to be true, but that's the first thing. Number two, she said it because she's the opening phone call, but she does not die. She gets attacked. Maybe that brings her sister back. Maybe that for some reason brings Neve Campbell back for some strange reason, okay? Or Sydney. We can call them by their character names, right? That's the second reason. Third reason is she gets a call some point in the movie and has to go through the whole, again, like go through the whole thing. You know what I mean? That could be now that's the most boring, but that is probably, I guess that's the more likely thing that she's talking about, where maybe she's not the opening, maybe she doesn't die, maybe none of that stuff, but maybe she goes through a sequence in this movie where she has to go through the whole thing with Ghostface where she doesn't know, he's kind of playing with her, and then all of a sudden it gets like super real, right? And she starts to freak out and she has to do a lot of, like athletic things, stuff like that. That could be what she means. And really, if you think about it, even like in the second movie, right, with like Sarah Michelle, it was Cece, that was later on in the movie. That was, no, I don't know the exact time. Was that like 30, 40 minutes in? It was a little bit later on, but it very much mimicked the opening of the first one. You know what I mean? So it wasn't the opening of Scream 2. Obviously, that was different, but it was the same kind of feel to it. So I guess technically she could still go through the entire Drew Barrymore thing of answering the phone, going through the whole thing, getting scared, doing all these athletic things and escaping. She could do that an hour and a half in, whatever. She could do that in this movie and just not be the kill, not be an opening kill, right? Simply for the reason that she's not, right? She'd be later on in the movie. And they could still have her do that stuff and have a big cameo be the opening. So there are, there's, I don't even know how many options that is. That's like 3, 4, 5 options I think is possible. But it is definitely odd because, again, like in reality, to not like go after Drew Barrymore because I have nothing, I have nothing against her. Like in that movie, she's in it for like 6 minutes and she does I mean, it's one of the best openings of any movie ever. Okay. She does a phenomenal job. But to say like she studied her and she loves the opening and she watched the opening, and we know this movie is probably going to be hopefully it's not like super copycat because I'm not really looking to watch Scream 1 again. There's a point for that for movies, even like Star Wars or like even a lesser example of like a Pirates of the Caribbean where they kind of do stuff the original movie did, but not everything. I mean, like it's fine to pay respects, and we've seen Scream 2, Scream 4, the different movies in the past in this franchise have tried to mimic what, even Scream 3. Scream 3 and Scream 4 try to mimic a lot of what Scream 1 did, right? But at the same time, you don't want to go see the same movie again. Scream 1 is a masterpiece. It's one of my favorite films of all time. It's my favorite horror film of all time. But I don't need to see it again in 2022. In 2022, I don't need to see it again. So hopefully it's not too copycat where it's like the exact same thing. But I don't know why you would say something like that if it didn't have. And again, like, what did Drew Barrymore even do in that scene? Well, if you're studying her acting, the only thing is going through that. It's even what Roger L. Jackson has talked about, like that cat and mouse game that they were playing, that he was playing with her, right? That's the thing that she did, that kind of like going from, okay, he's fine, we're just playing along, he's asking me these questions, but like he's kind of cute, right? He's kind of like leading me on all this stuff. So all of a sudden, oh my dear God, like he's killing my boyfriend, he's going to kill me, like he's very, very angry, like that entire thing. If you're studying that, you're studying it probably because you have a similar sequence or moment in your film to that. You know what I mean? So that doesn't have to mean opening, but it does, I think, mean she's going to have a cat and mouse game with Ghostface, which she'll either lose or survive. But I don't think it would be like the ending. So I think Ghostface would end up like escape. Whoever it is would probably end up escaping, right? So that's my thought. That's my thought process through that. Let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to be the opening kill? Maybe it won't be an opening kill. What do you think Jenna Ortega means by this stuff? Let me know in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Again, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions in the comments. I'd love to make, it doesn't have to always be videos on the upcoming Scream. I mean, I obviously can do that all day long, but if you guys want me to talk about stuff of the past Scream movies, which I have some ideas myself, can definitely do that as well, okay? New Scream video every single Tuesday. Got some fun stuff planned. Got a collaboration planned with Scream. Hopefully other stuff in that regards too. We'll talk about that as the weeks go on, and then we can start talking about posters, a trailer, all different kinds of stuff. Some really fun stuff coming, okay? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next week.